Hi, everyone, and welcome to Flume Stream Entertainment Network for Season 4, Episode 2, Brent. Sports Talk with Matt and Brent. I'm Matt Buto. This is Brent Colville. New year, new season. Welcome to Sports Talk. Another episode. What do you think?
Yeah, exciting, Matt. Love doing this with you. Love getting to talk sports, especially basketball in the wintertime. Almost a new year. Time around the basketball season where you had your Christmas tournaments and a little bit of a break time. And then get right back into it. I mean, January and February are very busy with basketball.
Let's get right into it. Recently, I want to do the Littleton Woodsville recap. A game that was very telling, or could be telling for the season. You know, two great coaches, two great teams for the boys' game. Thoughts on it?
Yeah, Coach Howard and Coach Walker over there at Woodsville had a lot of battles throughout the years, that's for sure. Woodsville has had the upper reign here the last couple seasons, I believe. But now, Littleton says, "Hey, not anymore. We want back in on this ship." And Coach Howard went over there, and it was kind of a sloppy game for both of their standards. It's early in the season, but a 10-point win is a 10-point win, no matter what time of the year it is. And they both put up numbers. I believe it was 69 to 59. So that's some scoring. And maybe not a lot of defense being played either way, or maybe the talented players were able to score that night. But always going to be a battle between those two guys. Lots of years doing this. Coach Howard is 27 years in, or something like that, and Coach Walker's been there for as long as I can remember. I don't remember who was there when I was in school. But before that, you're talking the great John Baganzi, the baseball guru over there. Woodsville's been known for a lot of years for athletics, and they're continuing to do that, as well as Littleton.
We've had Jamie Walker and Trevor Howard on the show, and both of them, to say that they're well-versed and experienced coaches is an understatement. We had Walker days after, I believe, his first championship. Was it back-to-back?
Yeah.
And, we're talking to him, like we talked with Jack Bartlett over in Profile during the soccer season. The coach just won a championship 4 days before that, and he's already playing practice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the life of a coach, it never stops. I mean, the summer times are hard sometimes because you're thinking, where are all these kids? What are they doing? Why aren't we in the gym? Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing that? But yeah, I mean, as I tell my family and my extended family, is every basketball team I've ever coached. I wasn't blessed enough to have daughters in life, and I've got millions of them, of all the girls I've coached over the years, and that's how it is. Once you're in, you're in your family forever. So coaching doesn't stop after they graduate, Matt. I hear from these girls all the time, and I guarantee you it's like that with most coaches. The first baseball team I coached was in 1999, and still gives me shivers when I see some of those kids. Coach Eli was one of them, but they still call me coach. And that, that just sets the tone right back to that day. I was just a young punk, 21-year-old kid, and for those kids to still call me coaches, it feels good.
And it seems to me that you want to build it's a family. And when you go into these battles, especially a Littleton and Woodsville game, you're going in as a family. You're fighting for one another, and that's a big part of the game.
Sure, and something we've talked about on our first show was crowds being quiet, but the crowds aren't quiet at Woodsville.
Yeah.
The atmosphere there is right up in your face and intense, and it's a great atmosphere to play in. And back to what you said, in the soccer season and on our first episode. That is the sixth man, the crowd, and home. Luckily Littleton escaped out of that gym in Woodsville with a W, because that is a tough place to play.
So let's get to that game specifically, as some stats will pop up, I believe. Early in the season, but two quality teams, quality coaches, sloppy, but if you're Littleton, you want to win that game.
Yeah.
If you're Woodsville, you want to win that game. not only did Littleton win, but they won by 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but you look at the scoring, man. I mean, really not, Woodsville outscored Littleton by 1, and then Littleton outscored them by 3 again, and then by 5. So really the game was never out of hand or out of reach for either team. Usually close games are won on the free throw line at the end of the game, and I'm sure that's another example of that. But a 10-point game you look at is really a 2-point game, because it could have been 4 points with 30 seconds or a minute left, and you got a foul to stop the clock, and they happen to make those free throws. They don't always make those free throws. Sometimes they miss, and you've extended the game and being able to get back into it. But here's some scoring there for Littleton. I mean, Hoskins putting up 15 and Landon Lord with 13. Look at that shooting. Oh, it's 34%, 44% for Littleton. This is Woodsville scoring was 34%. But Davidson had 21, Kingsbury 17, and Boudreau had 14. And those 3 names you see on the top of Woodsville scoring each time, and I believe Boudreau is maybe the 6th man. I believe he comes off the bench.
No kidding.
And he's always in the top 3 in scoring on the team. So when you've got people, those you're going to be in games. Cam
Davidson's name seems to come up a lot for Woodsville in soccer and basketball especially.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been there for seems like forever, but I think he's finally a senior this year, and he's going to have a great senior year. And he's had a lot of help around him the past few years, and this year he's kind of the alpha male there, and I think he's going to take him some time to figure out that role.
Yeah.
And get some of these younger kids like Kingsbury and Boudreau involved.
We covered the Mullinborough Academy Woodsville game, and Coach Jamie Walker, his son, is a freshman, I believe, right?
Yep.
He's he's fast.
Yeah, he's very fast, quick, uses both hands well, finishes at the basket well with both hands, and I believe he shoots a little bit. Obviously, that'll come in time. Right now, he's probably the distributor of the basketball, so to speak, and score when he can. But it's good problems to have are more players coming along.
Sure. Now we talk a lot about Littleton and Woodsville, and these games will always be competitive. They'll always be important. But profile's lingering out there.
A lot of talk about profile. The scoring. Of the Roby kid and the Leslie kid's a very big kid, and I believe we talked about this before, Matt. Those guys, the last couple seasons, especially at profile, they've put in year-round work to get that team to where they want it to be. Again, a younger coach over there. I believe this is his 2nd season, maybe his 3rd. But his enthusiasm is certainly going through those boys, and they're putting a lot of time in. I know they played all summer in a bunch of different tournaments. I believe they're in the finals today in the Farmington tournament, which is a three-day tournament.
Somebody was it 52 points or 51 points?
I think he put up 40 the first game and the 50-something the second game.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of scoring going on, and you're seeing some of those numbers from other kids as well. So the numbers we're not used to saying for high school basketball individually.
So what we'll do is, speaking of, we talked a lot about Littleton and Woodsville. Coach Trevor Howard from the Littleton boys varsity team will actually be joining us when we come up next. He's going to share his thoughts and perspectives on the team, on his schedule, perhaps this Woodsville game, and let us know for the second time. This is going to be the second time. He was actually one of the first coaches to join us here at Sports Talk. So when we come back, we'll have Littleton High School head varsity basketball coach Trevor Howard sharing those perspectives. Stick around. We'll hit him up with some info in a minute or two.
It's a perfect day.
Hi!
Why is there a bank in the woods?
We try to be wherever our customers need us. All your banking needs here for you. Wherever you are in life, we want you to start your adventure with Pasumsic Bank. That's why there's a bank in the woods.
Huh. Wait, isn't that?
Oh, great customer. Keeps a low profile.
Covering you at home, at work, and at play, George M. Stevens Insurance is the only local agency to offer personal and commercial insurance, as well as health, life, and financial services. With offices throughout the North Country, we service your complete insurance needs. As a trusted choice insurance agency, we research coverage options from the nation's top companies to ensure that your policy works for you. George M. Stevens Insurance, protecting New Hampshire and Vermont since 1882.
Just like you means when I walk into the bank, I feel like home. I feel like this is home.
It's a family. It's just small like me, but it's good like me.
Just like you, I know I have the support of the bank, and my clients have the support of the bank. And to me, that just has extreme value.
Hi there, I'm Chuck Lloyd, president at White Mountains Community College, just talking to you a little bit about our college. We've been here since 1965. We've got 3 locations in Berlin, Littleton, and North Conway, and we're also online. We have a lot of technical programs, and we have a lot of online, remote, synchronous, asynchronous, whatever works best for your schedule. We are the only higher ed institution in New Hampshire above the notches. And what that means for us is we've got to be all things to all people. And we aim to try to do that by responding to workforce needs, industry and business, and partner locally with the needs of our communities. We could not be more excited to host new students coming in January.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Flume Stream Entertainment Network for Sports Talk with Matt and Brent. I'm Matt Buto. This is Coach Brent Koval. On the phone now, we have Coach Trevor Howard from the Littleton boys varsity team. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Hey guys, hope everyone had a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Coach. Happy holidays. As always, Coach, you're responsive to us in our emails and thoughts on the games. How's the season so far for you? What are your thoughts? What are your perspectives? What really stands out in the first, 5 or 6 games so far?
We got a long way to go. We've shown stretches where we played really well, and then other stretches where, we struggled, and we're kind of seeing our weak and working on them in practice. So, we're athletic, but we're not very big. We struggle at times rebounding and interior defense. So, we have plenty to work on, but a good start. We've somehow found a way to win every game so far, which is good. The Woodsville game was a great environment. Woodsville's a good team. They played well, so it was a dogfight, and it was good to come out on top. And then we had Groveton Christmas tournament just barely, and we had 2 tough games. Groveton and White Mountains both played us tough, both of those games, and we pulled both of those out. So it was good. We got to get healthy. I've had kids battling the flu, like I'm sure every team is. And Dre, my point guard's been out with a concussion, and he could not play in the Woodsville game and most of the Christmas tournament. So we just got to get healthy and back in rhythm, I think. So,
Coach, Brent Koval here. I got some questions. I do want to say this, Coach. I love watching your teams.
Absolutely.
I love the high energy. It's just so fun to watch. My first thought is this: something I've noticed over the last year or so, and it really hit me at the Groveton tournament the other night. The place was packed, but you could almost hear a mouse run across the floor. The enthusiasm from the crowd wasn't there, and I don't know if that's something that COVID's taken away from us or not. I just want to know if you felt that at all.
No, I said the same thing to someone when I was watching the girls' games. I said, so we walk in. We've never played in the Groveton Christmas tournament, so we were invited this fall when Berlin backed out, and both Coach Pryor and I said absolutely, and we're thrilled we did it. We walk in on Tuesday, and we had to sit up on stage. It was a packed house, and,
Sure.
and it was great. It's a great environment, but I did say it's the quietest large crowd I've ever seen. So, I think I think it might be an older crowd up in that area where they come and they just enjoy watching basketball. And, all 4 games the first day were all competitive and all good games. And, it's a great environment. But, yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of a quiet, large crowd, whereas when we went to Woodsville, it was more of a rowdy.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Rowdy environment. So, but no, they did a nice job up in Groveton, and we were working on different things up there and trying to take my kids out of their element, and it worked. We struggled through stretches of both those games, and I give Groveton and White Mountains boys credit. White Mountains especially, they struggled at my place a couple weeks ago, and then they had the lead for most of that game against us in the Christmas tournament. So they've improved tremendously, and they played very well. They could have won. So it was good games and good learning experience for us. So.
Sure. Kind of segues into my next question, and I asked. I've been asking a lot of coaches this question. How do you feel about playing these teams 3 times? I know it's kind of like a glorified scrimmage over a holiday break, but couldn't the NHIA and these ADs have been talking of shortening basketball seasons. Couldn't we make these games count and maybe take away a couple dates later in the season?
Yeah, I've been a proponent of I think basketball should start after Thanksgiving, and I've said that for 20 years. Basketball, encompasses Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, February vacation. We don't need to be starting when we do. We should start. Let the kids go away for Thanksgiving or do whatever. We could have a full 18-game schedule plus Christmas tournaments and still get done at the same time. We don't need to be starting, mid-November.
Sure.
I just think, if you can take away Thanksgiving and it gives families chances to, catch a break after soccer, and if you wanted to go away or do anything, you can. And, so I've been a proponent of that, but nothing's really changed. So the Christmas tournament, it's weird. I've been all over the place. I've been to Hanover. I've been to Guilford back in the day in their Christmas tournament. I've gone to Profile. I've done a little of everything. And, we used to go to Hanover and play 2 or 3 days in a row down there, and you're playing in front of 20 people, literally. That's not big crowds. It's a big, huge gym.
Yep.
And they just don't draw the crowd. I did enjoy going to Groveton, and the downside is we play all those teams in the tournament twice already, so now we're playing them a 3rd time, which that's why we just worked on different things. We played in half-court man most of the time and tried to work on things and use it as that. So, that's the downfall of it. I do agree. But I was talking to Ryan Call during the girls' game, and we both agree it would be nice to have, get 8 teams all up in the North Country and have one big Christmas tournament. And,
sure, yeah.
Get Woodsville in there, get Profile in there, get whatever the top 8 teams are, and have a, maybe one school could host the boys tournament, and then, Groveton hosts the boys and White Mountains hosts the girls, and have a big, huge, 8-team tournament. It would be great. So, but Groveton does a nice job. That place was packed, and it was, I'm glad we got invited. So.
Yeah, they've always done a great job up there for that tournament. Yep.
Coach, you also mentioned Coach Dale Pryor, and a question I like to ask, and we had a conversation with the coach from White Mountains Regional as well. Somehow, some way, you guys always end up having a competitive team or competitive teams. How do the feeder programs look out there? How do you guys do that? Obviously, outstanding coaching, but every year after year, you have a team that competes, and it just keeps going. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I think, basketball is a sport in Littleton that, the kids all want to play. We've been good for so long and made it to the semis. I think we went 9 straight years making to the semis, and until that streak was broken a couple of years ago. And then, so I think kids growing up, they come to the games and they want to do that. You want to get to the semis and play on a college court and get to the finals and try to win championships. So, I'm lucky in Littleton. I've always had a full JV team and a full varsity team, and a lot of smaller schools up here don't have that luxury. So, my feeder program is long. The kids want to play. I'm not lacking any numbers. my junior high team's undefeated, my JV team's undefeated, and right now, we're 8-0 as of right now. So, we're lucky. I'm missing size. I need some height. I got a lot of athletes, but we don't have much size coming. So, hopefully we Littleton to help me out.
Coach, I like how you put that. And I've always said winning breeds winning. And that's certainly a testament to you and all the time you've put in over the years. So congratulations. I mean, I think it's a huge shout out to you because these kids are, in first grade. They know who you are. They want to play for you already. And that's huge, especially in a small community.
No, well, it's my 26th year. So, I've been doing it a long time. I wish I had time to go down to each level and show up for a practice or some games. I try to, junior high, and it's just tough with 2 kids at home, and I'm lucky to coach varsity. I wish I had more time to go down, but a lot of coaches text me and call me, and the youth programs, we try to keep in touch with each other, and that's what you got to do. And in all these small schools and towns, you need all your top athletes playing, and when you lose a kid or 2, it hurts. So,
Absolutely.
We're lucky in the it's all play.
I was just telling Matt, you've been coaching, like you said, 27 years, and you're really not an old man. So you started young, and no, it's good to see. But we were talking about coaches and how long they've been at places, and you look at your brother coaches, and you're a lot younger than most.
Yeah, I went to St. A's, and I played there for Coach Dixon, and then when I graduated and started running Maplewood, the coach at that time was Rob Evans. I didn't really know him. He hounded me for weeks and weeks to come in and practice with the boys and help him coach, and I finally did, and I did that for 2 years. So I was his assistant for 2 years, and then he got a teaching job down in Massachusetts and asked me to take over the program, and I was 22, 23 at the time, and I've done it ever since.
That's
so
awesome.
I wish I could go back and coach some of those teams I had when I was younger.
Sure, I bet.
We had some talented teams. I just didn't know what I was doing back then. So.
No, and great point. And as another thing, we've got a lot. We were talking about this earlier. A lot of new coaches, in Division 4 with Ryan Call taking over, Vincent at the regional, guy over at Lisbon. Lots of new coaches, and it's tough. A lot of coaches think they're just going to come right in and they're going to win, but you got to build, and sometimes it starts very small.
Yeah. Coaching experience is invaluable, and if the kids see you get rattled in a close game, they're going to get rattled. Just knowing been in a lot of different environments and situations before helps you as a coach.
Absolutely.
And some things you get wound up before as a younger coach, you don't when you get older. So just comes with it. So, but yeah, I've seen it all pretty much.
Coach, what's next? I believe we're going down to Epping, correct? Is it for Littleton?
Oh, that's the 13th.
Yeah.
No, I think it's at Littleton.
So we'll be covering another game. You'll be hearing from us soon in regards to your thoughts on the game. But, what's next for you? You got more games coming up. Christmas break is over. What's the plan, aside from winning? Coach, you there? I think we might have lost him. Well, regardless, that was a great conversation that was Coach Trevor Howard from the head coach for the Littleton boys basketball team. I think he's calling back in.
He's calling right back.
We're going to take this call from Coach Howard. I believe it's going to be him.
We got you back, Coach?
Are you still there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
We had one more question, just checking in. We're going to be covering one of your games here within the next few weeks.
Yeah, I believe you got like Colebrook, Linwood coming up, Coach, and maybe Woodsville again?
Yeah, we got a tough schedule. We play all the tougher teams up here twice. So, yeah, I got Pittsburgh coming up Tuesday, but then I go to do have profile twice still, and Groveton twice, Woodsville again. Like I said, there's some really good teams. Profile's playing really well right now. They're down in the Farmington Christmas tournament in the finals. And, I've never seen, it's been a long time since I've seen individuals put up this type of points. Like Cam Claremont had 43 on Woodsville, and they lost in double overtime. Roby's Josh has scored, I think, 40 a couple times, and he just dropped 52 in a tournament down in Farmington. So, there's a lot of talent up in this area, and kids are putting up a lot of points, which be interesting to see, to go up again and see what we can do. So
Sure, absolutely. That's a great point, Coach. I was thinking about that the other day. It's been a long time since I've heard numbers like that.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
From Division I players.
Yeah, no, this kid's putting up some serious numbers. So, I don't know if it's a combination of bad defense or these kids are really good. It might be a little of both, but I know. Right. I know how good Josh Roby is, and Leslie, and Jake and Cam and Linwood. Those schools have some kids that can put up some numbers. Now, my teams are a little more balanced. I try to get every kid to score and contribute, and we kind of, do it that way. But
sure, you guys share the ball very well there.
Yeah, it's but game planning wise, trying to take away the other team's best player is going to be a challenge. With some of these teams, because they're very tough matchups. So.
Yep.
Well, Coach, thank you for taking the time again to share your thoughts and perspectives on your team on the season. You're the first one to join us a year or two when we started this, so thanks for coming back.
Thank you guys for having me. Sorry I lost you. Must have been my cell phone. So.
No, it's all good.
Anyways, we appreciate what you guys do and all your coverage for the kids. So we really appreciate it. So.
Excellent. Well, there you have it. That's Coach Trevor Howard for the Littleton boys varsity team. Longtime coach. Coach, thanks again. And when we come back, we'll talk about our upcoming games, and we'll get some of Brent's final thoughts here on the season. We'll be right back.
We at COAS Advisors feel it's important to stay connected to the community to have the greatest impact with the people around us.
Many of us here at COAS Advisors grew up in the area. Actually, most of us did, and so we're all very connected. I mean, ultimately, everything we do is about helping people achieve their goals.
It's true. I think community is connecting to the people around us in a way that moves everybody forward. Everybody wants to make the North Country a better place.
What motivates us at Casella?
I want to help our customers recycle as much as possible.
Because I care about the environment and how our company impacts our towns.
And at Casella Organics, we find new uses for all sorts of materials.
It's hard work.
But I'm helping people every day.
And that makes me feel like part of the community.
A community I care about. So I do everything I can to sustain the resources of our environment.
Casella, serving New Hampshire and part of your community.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Plume Stream Entertainment Network for Sports Talk with Matt and Brent. Again, my name's Matt Buto. I'm here with Coach Brent Coble. Speaking of coaches, man, nice having a conversation with Coach Trevor Howard from Littleton. 26 years of experience. You could certainly tell in that conversation.
Sure, yeah, and I liked a lot of the things he said, about learning. He said, I'd like to go back and recoach some of those years, and because experience you just gain so much from it. And, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but just the coaching style in general, to go back with what your mentality is now. And he probably has some more state championship banners over there at Littleton.
Well, I think that's probably the most impressive thing, and you and I talk a lot about it, but that's a coach like yourself that learns after every play, learns after every game, learns after every season, and then makes adjustments either in the moment or in the game or in the season. But that's where you see the success.
And another thing he said is, things that used to make him angry and mad typically don't anymore, and that's just patience and experience, and learning that those things are gonna happen. As a coach, you can't really wear your heart on your sleeve. You do, but you have to be smart about it as well, and understand the learning process that goes on each and every year. Each team every year is different, and their ability to learn is different, and you have to teach and coach differently each year.
And that leadership quality of a group of young men looking to the coach and wanting to know that it's okay, just that energy that the coach gives off, either it be angry or nervous, players pick up on that,
absolutely.
And they bring it on the court. And he mentioned, you got to keep it together because that grows.
Absolutely, you're a reflection of your team, and he hit the nail on the head. If you get into a timeout really anxious and nervous about making this play, you can probably expect your players to be the same way. And you go into that timeout confident, and you're going to do this and this and this, and your players are going to feed off that as well. Matt, it was a pleasant conversation talking with Coach Howard, and look forward to covering some more of his games.
Again, that was Coach Trevor Howard for the Littleton Crusaders, longtime coach. Doesn't look a day over 40, but he's been coaching for 26 years, he said.
Yeah.
So special thanks to him, and obviously good luck to him and his teams. Always competitive, doing well. But speaking of upcoming games, Brent, what do we have coming up?
Yeah, on the 13th, we're going to do a doubleheader, both girls and boys, of Littleton hosting Epping. Epping was we were supposed to cover them a couple weeks ago on that Friday where we got the fake snowstorm where all the schools were canceled.
The Burlingame snowstorm.
The Burlingame snowstorm, yeah, they got dumped on. So it'd be nice to see Epping. Again, we've got a great relationship with them, Flume Media and the Epping School District, and then on the 17th, Matt, we're back down in Moultonboro. They're going to host Profile for a doubleheader, boys and girls, it'll be good to see Profile. We've yet to see Profile play. And that's a team that is on everybody's radar. And as Coach Howard said, they play them kind of back to back. It's not really. It's like they play them a Tuesday, and then the next Tuesday. So then they got a game in between. So their two games are scheduled pretty tight. Those are going to be two games to watch. Looking forward to those.
And we like going down to Moultonboro Academy. They're always good to us, always very receptive. Get good feedback from them. So it's nice to be able to go down and cover their game, but also be able to cover a game back home.
Absolutely.
Brent, before we finish up, I wanted to ask you one question about a comment that Coach Howard made. The idea of, are we scoring a lot more points, or is the defense not as good?
Yeah, and like he said, to finish that is maybe it's a little of both, but at the same time, when you're seeing individuals putting up numbers like they are, 40 and 50 points, that's kind of a testament to them. The individual themselves. They put a lot of time into the gym. They're figuring out ways to get their shot off, being guarded man-to-man, or get their shot off within a zone offense, and teamwork. But that's a lot of individual hours and hours spent honing your craft, if you ask me. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong on many things, but I can guarantee you the Roby kid puts his time in in scoring, and you got the other kid, the Hoskins kids at Littleton. I mean, he can shoot with this much space in front of him. He can get his shot off, and usually it's deadly. And Davidson, he's been putting up 20-point games for a couple of years now. Big kid down below, he's gonna suck up everything off the glass and put it back in the hoop. But yeah, I don't know, Matt. I mean, I got to say it's a testament to the athlete.
Yeah, for sure. And we don't think you make a lot of mistakes, Brent. Only on the baseball field, from what I hear. At least that's what the fans tell me. But they tell me the same thing. So there you have it. Last word by Coach Brent Coble. Coach, thanks for sharing those thoughts. And we're going to wrap it up. We're going to Littleton doubleheader January 13th. Marlboro hosts Profile on January 17th. Again, special thanks to Zach and Chad, who are essentially running the show and allowing us to do this. And Brent, it's good to see you again. It's good to be back in the studio again. Thanks for your thoughts and perspectives.
Yeah, and Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, Happy New Year. So for Zach, Chad, and Brent, I'm Matt Buetow. This is Sports Talk. We'll see you real soon.